Real quick, before we get into the goodness, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified to every time we upload a video. Appreciate you. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. It would seem that Mr. Stehpen A. Smith has gotten in a little bit of hot water. And I am not a Stehpen A. Smith defender. If you are a long-time listener to the podcast, if you are a long-time viewer on YouTube, then you know I am not. Hell, I think a couple of podcasts back, I got in his ass for dumb shit that he said. But on this one, it's a question that I've been asking. So Stehpen A. Smith put out a tweet that said, "Is Kim Kardashian a prostitute? Is her mother Kris a pimp?" Well, people lost their mind. Oh my goodness, how can you say that? Bad, that's a bad look. How can you disparage? I'm going to tell you something that I learned and that has really shaped my adult life as I hit my 30s. When I hit my 30s, I was listening to a ESPN radio show host, Colin Cowherd, and he had a phrase that has helped me throughout life, and I hope it helps y'all too. Let me give him credit for it, and let me share it with you. His phrase was, take the emotion out of it. And he used that phrase to help people see things clearer. You know how people will get defensive about their teams when you may say or express an opinion that they don't like, that they don't agree with. And his point is, take the emotion out of it, stop being butthurt and mad, listen to the facts and the overall point, and see if it's right or wrong. See if the facts are right or wrong, if they're inaccurate or accurate. So for Stehpen A. to ask that question in a tweet that he has removed, it's not that far-fetched, y'all. It's not. Because Ray J actually made a point of this when he was asked about their sex tape. Now, in case you didn't know, let me back up a touch. The reason Kim Kardashian is famous is because she f***ed Ray J on tape. Was supposed to be a little private sex tape for them when they were dating, made it to the public. For a very long time, people wondered who released that tape, And in an interview on a talk show that I can't remember which it was, they asked Ray J about the sex tape and who released it, how did it get out? And Ray J expressed something that a lot of people may not have heard or even caught on to. When asked if he knows who released the tape, he simply said he has an idea, which I respect that he's trying to protect people. And when they asked him who, he didn't say. He said, I have an idea. And then he responded, I'll tell you this, who got famous? Who benefited more from that tape being released? And he simply said, it wasn't me because I was already famous. That was his way of saying, if not Kim, then the Kardashian family. More than likely Kris. I believe it was Kris. Let me tell you why. Because she has been the motivating factor. She's been the puppeteer pulling the strings for the Kardashians to get the notoriety that they have. I've said it forever. Kris Kardashian has gotten rich off her daughter f***ing a star. So by technical definition, doesn't that make her a pimp? The definition of pimp is a person who solicits for prostitute or brothel and lives off their earnings. Or two, a person who procures sexual gratification for another. That's what a pimp is. Now, we don't know if Kris told her to record it. We don't know if Kris set the whole thing up. From Ray J's interviews about Kim, they met in a very average way. But since that tape came out, who has benefited the most? Easy, the Kardashians. Who's been the person behind the strings who orchestrated everything for their fame and notoriety? Kris, the mother. So by that definition, if I am making money as a parent or a person, if I gain fame off someone in my circle, in this case her child, having sex, doesn't that make me a pimp? If I've gotten rich and famous because of who the person I know, doesn't that make me a pimp? If I parlay their sex into an empire, am I not a pimp? It's a very reasonable and logical conclusion that everybody jumped down Stehpen A. Smith's throat for, but it's a very logical question. Is Kim a prostitute? Hell no. I'm sure she didn't get paid for the Ray J. Unless, of course, you count that fame immediately after his payment. But no, Kim's not a prostitute. Oh, but I will go to the mat providing proof and evidence that Kris is the pimp. You better believe it. Because who else gets famous off somebody else other than pimps? Think about it. Yo, if you want to hear the rest, make sure you check out our podcast. You can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms. That is iHeart, Pandora, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Plus, if you want to reach us, drop us a line. You can find us at freemindthinkers2022@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about us. Leave a comment below and share the video with as many people as you can. I greatly appreciate that. This is your man, Big Brother Tucker. See you on the other side. And always remember, never be afraid to think differently.